Hi, I'm Rhiannon Faith, and I'm here to tell you a story. So I was watching a video earlier today, just a reel on, I don't know, Instagram probably, and it was just overlay of different sports shots and words. And was talking about how, as a mom, you're running around frantically to all of these different sporting events for your kids. And one day, all of those things will be done, the sporting activities and the running around and all the hecticness and chaos that comes with that. And you'll look back and recognize that those were some of the greatest moments of your life. And the thing is, what I think is really interesting, and all of those things, when people say that, you'll look back and then you will appreciate it for whatever reason. And I'm not definitely sure what that is. I already know that. And I knew that a long time ago. And so when I would watch that, I was thinking, got a little bit choked up thinking about how grateful I am for all of those moments that I've had. But I was grateful all along the way. So even when it was chaotic and crazy, and I mean, honestly, this dates back to when my oldest, who's now 25, when she was in Pop Warner cheer, and I was her coach when she first started, and stayed her coach for a number of years, and then stepped back so she could have her own situation and continue to have higher level coaches. But all of those different moments, I knew those were great moments. And even though it was tiring and there were, long hours and extra things I was taking on for myself, I cherished every minute of it. And I loved having her in the car and, driving her to school or driving her to activities with her friends. And I was never even remotely upset or sad or irritated about having to go to do those things. I just saw it as a total privilege and kind of weird, fortunate, I guess. She had gotten her license later than most, and so she didn't have a car actually while she was in high school. And so all the way up through her senior year, I was driving her to school. I wasn't always the one picking her up. A lot of times, with sports and things like that. And I went to every game and activity that I could go to and always showed up. I didn't have a car when we were kids. My parents didn't have a car multiple times when we were children. And so, we would take public transportation, or we would walk a lot of places. And then on the times when we did have a car, most of the time there was just so much else going on. My parents were working, or there was chaos or what have you. So they weren't really there. And, it didn't really bother me when I was a kid, but I guess as an adult, I wanted to be present because I wanted to prioritize that. And I recognized that while I was okay with it, my parents not being there at things, I didn't want my kids to have to be okay with it. It was a priority to be present. So I don't have to look back later and think about this. Gosh, I wonder. And even now, my kids, now I'm just down to one. One that's still in school. He's just started 8th grade. And, taking him to school, he and my middle daughter going to school a little bit further away from home. And so I, have a decent commute taking them to school and picking them up. And even though that's a lot of driving, which my poor husband is just, always concerned about my well-being and spending that much time in the car, I cherish those times because I get to have conversations with them and talk to them about their day, or just kind of be a fly on the wall as they're talking to their friends or whatever else is going on. And so I'm really glad that I actually know that already, that these moments, those busy, those busy, loud moments of running around and being exhausted, those are wonderful moments. And so I'm grateful that I have them. And, similar to my oldest daughter, my middle daughter doesn't have her license yet. And so through her senior year of high school, driving her to her school and picking her up, and, taking her to her activities and things of that nature. So I got all of that. And I suspect my son won't be the same. I think, being the youngest of 3 with 2 older sisters, I think he's going to probably want to have a higher level of independence sooner. And so I am all the more cherishing all of those little moments that I get to hang out with him and spend time with him, and that he still, wants to spend time with his mom at 13, almost 14, is really a gift. And so I'm grateful for that, and I'm thankful for all of those moments. So if you needed a reminder to be grateful for those little moments or those chaotic times, this is it. So I'm down to one left, and I didn't miss out on anything along the way. I don't have any regrets about not being present or, again, missing out. But I intend to keep that up with my youngest and continue to be there and be present no matter what the sacrifice is, because they're worth it. And we only get such a short period of time to shepherd them and be a part of their lives in a way that is influential and supportive. And then, we got to get put on a shelf to a certain degree as they figure out the rest of their lives for themselves. And so that transition as they move into the various levels of adulting, as my oldest and I discuss on a regular basis, you have a different role, and it's much more determined by what they're willing to hear from you. And so that's different for every kid, and you just hope that you get to continue to have a space with them for that, but that's just not always the case. So I'm grateful for all of these little moments. I'm gonna treasure every one of them, and I hope you'll do the same. Anyways, just a little something. So come back again and I'll tell you another story. Thanks.